Okay, everyone, let's welcome Yosuke.
Assalamu alaikum. This is the Arabic. This is the
As-alaikum salam.
Arabic greetings in. This is the Arabic greeting that means hello. My topic is Islamic customs about men and women. How do you feel when you hear bear, harem, or polygyny? One husband with several wives. Gender inequality, unreasonable, and if you have some feelings, do you have good reasons? In this presentation, by analyzing Islamic cultures, I let you understand the importance of critical thinking once more. Islamic customs may seem to be unreasonable, but they were quite reasonable. First, polygyny. One man with several wives. In Islamic world, polygyny was a reasonable system in various points. I'll explain some points. First, naturally, the balance of women and men are equal, but in Islamic world, there were wars, and because of the wars, many men died, and many women were taken as slaves, so far more women than men. Also, there were no ways to help widows. The wife who lost her husband and their children, many men were died, but there were no social welfare or system, so polygyny was the solution. And in polygyny, you may assume women were treated terribly or unfairly, but man with several wives had to be fortunate and respected. Also, Quran, a sacred book, provided that he treats them equally. And in polygyny, women could help each other in child raising, very heavy housewife work, and care for children. So polygyny was reasonable, and polygyny was like one big friendly family. Then I will talk about separation of women and men by such as bear and harem, and they were reasonable, although they seems to the symbol of inequality in Islamic world. These are bears. First, I'll talk about the situation of Mediterranean society, 地中海世界. According to Miyazaki Mieko, a cultural anthropologist, before New Stone Age, as food was insufficient, people had to make connection with other groups by marriage and had to cooperate to survive. But in New Stone Age, people got enough food, and there was no need for cooperation with other groups. Also, there was no need to marry to other groups, and no need to go to unfamiliar world. Then, marriage and birth in the same group became possible. Also, there was no need for birth control anymore because there was enough food. In such situations, Mediterranean world tend to marriage in the same group, also including intermarriage. Intermarriage means marriage between close relatives like this, and this sometimes causes bad effects in customs or biology. And also, there were social changes such as war and tribal disorganization. And these situations threatens the woman, and also threatens the nobility and the purity of the family. So, to guard the women and to guard the purity of the family, separation of women were born to guard. Separation of women born. So they were reasonable. Next, I'll move on to the idea that women are as men. According to Nawaruel Saadawi, a human rights activist, because of the unbalance of men and women, Arab women competed for the love of the prosperous men. So they became very, very attractive. Then women got the active nature and lure that men couldn't resist. So the lure was thought to break the current order. To keep the order, separation of women was needed, like this. And men couldn't resist the lure of the women. So, like I said, polygyny and separation were quite reasonable. Not inequality, but reasonable. Last, move on to the conclusion part. If you have some feelings of Islamic cultures, did you have good reasons? Islamic cultures may seem unreasonable, but they were reasonable. As you learn in ELP Leader, people may have unreasonable negative images for unfamiliar customs like Bernard's stumbling blocks, especially assumption of similarity or tendency to evaluate. And also, Cross told us propaganda is everywhere. And Fisher told us perception is apparent knowledge of reality. And perception are not always true or very, very biased. So, understanding and information are not always accurate. So, as Meiran said, it is rational to believe something only if one has a basis for the belief. So, let's keep critical thinking and question everything as a global standard, IGU. Shukran. This means thank you. Any questions? Hayato.
So, thank you for your presentation. You said that the men have to go to war, and thus the number of men is low. Few. Well done.
Yeah, but,
Men, and you said maybe the women are taken somewhere as slaves or prisoners.
they are not so very specific source because they are very old time. But in some books, women more women and many men. So the balance of women and men are reasonable to monogamy. Okay.
I got it.
But actually, nowadays in Islamic countries, there are more women.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, let's save the questions for later and thank Yosuke one more time. Thank you.
Shukran.
Shukran.